everyone. Welcome to the show. Today we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Is that you running fast?
Yeah.
Sarah! Okay, let's watch the official trailer for the movie.
Here we go. Showtime.
What is this den of madness?
Are you Detective Pikachu?
He does look like a Pokemon. Pika Pika.
Konichi, what? Get down.
It's time, Shadow. Finally, we will have our revenge. But what good is a dastardly plot if you can't conspire with family?
There's two Eggmen now?
Double your villains, double your fun. Any last words?
Nice magic marble, real scary. That actually is real scary. Trick shot. Tom, Maddie, we need your help on a super... Come on.
Oh, excuse me.
Tom, Maddie, we need your help on a super dangerous top secret mission.
We're in.
Are you ready?
We were born ready.
All right, boys, try and keep up.
Come on, Granddaddy-O. We've got dirt to do. With Shadow's power, we can rule humanity. When we're done, there won't be anything left to rule. That is dark.
Somebody better call Google Maps.
Life's all the choices we make. Remember to listen to your heart. You're gonna make the right choice when it matters the most.
One hedgehog to another. Who does your highlights?
The more you talk,
Here we go. Showtime.
I don't know what I did, guys. I clicked on
what
something.
is this den of...
I clicked on something
Are we stuck here
weird.
forever in this loop?
No, I clicked on
Okay.
something weird. It doesn't
Sorry,
matter.
that's probably my fault because I was having her pull something up.
He told me to do something.
Well, because were you able to get it?
yeah.
Okay, so while she's looking at that, so obviously we're here with the third entry in the Sonic franchise, which franchise that has no business working as well as it does. But I wanted to kind of, the success of this franchise is not only surprising because I wouldn't have expected this to do as well as it did, but from where it started in the problems, it looked like it was dead. Sorry, Richard, dead in the waters. So if you don't remember, when they made the original Sonic, or they were getting ready to release the original Sonic in 2020, they dropped the first trailer. We were all anticipated to see how it was going to work because we knew it was a blend of animation and live action, and that's always hit and miss. But then we got the look at Sonic himself, and that went horribly wrong. So if you look at this picture she just dropped up, on the one side you see the original Sonic, and then after the fan backlash and complaining, like, why the hell is he so creepy? Because you might not have seen this picture. He's also a little taller, thinner.
They made it like a kid in a.
Yeah, it looked like a weird alien. And I think what their original plan was, because he's an alien, they were trying to make him look more alien to fit.
Then he needs to look cartoony.
But
and
after the
cute.
backlash, it got delayed a little bit. They retooled it, made his face look like he looks now. And so for a movie that almost probably would have crashed and burned, being forgotten,
Bit the bullet there.
it's a good example of listening to the audience on certain things.
Listen to the fans.
Not everything, because
No, 'cause
now
sometimes we go crazy.
there are too many things where they change stuff just because like 13 people complain. But there's certain things that need to be fixed. In this case, it was Sonic, and it has not only fixed it, it's become this massive franchise that has now spawned 3 movies and a TV series for Knuckles. And there's been talks. They're already in development of Sonic 4 and possible other spinoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And some great voice cast.
And my favorite thing is just seeing Jim Carrey.
Yes, and
I'm
that,
sorry.
so that is
That
my
has nothing to do with anything.
No. One of my favorite things about these movies, I'm a massive Jim Carrey fan. Like I have been since In Living Color. And these movies, Jim Carrey didn't lose himself, but he kind of went in a different direction with some of his comedies, did some dramas, and I love that. But I missed Ace Ventura Jim Carrey. I missed Dumb and Dumber. This takes him back to what made Jim Carrey famous, of the faces, the over-the-top antics. He's kind of like Jack Black before Jack Black.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like Jack Black's high energy.
Ugh.
Jim Carrey's
What if the two of them were together?
well, yeah, that'd be a whole nother. That'd be the greatest thing ever. I want to say they did something together, but I don't remember. Anyway, so here we are. We're in the third outing. I want to say something before we talk about the movie. So before the movie started, it had James Marsters.
Cable guy.
Huh?
Cable guy.
Was Jack Black? Oh, they had that little cameo. Yeah. He wasn't in there a lot, but yeah, you're right. I knew they had been on the screen somewhere together. It was Jack Black, Ben Schwartz. James Marsden. Not Marsters. That's Spike. James Marsden, Ben Schwartz, and I forget the lady's name.
Tika.
Huh?
Tika Sumpter?
Tika Sumpter. They were on screen introducing the movie, saying, "Thanks for watching our movie. I hope you enjoy it." Blah blah blah. We watched the whole movie, and then at the end, she's like, "Why was that guy up there?"
Yeah, it's like, why is that Ben Schwartz guy? Like, I like him.
That's the voice of Sonic.
I didn't even know.
We're 3 movies in, and she had no idea that she did Sonic's voice.
Didn't know.
And the new controversy is,
I'm so dumb.
and I kind of see it, but fun fact, there's 2 different animated TV series. And the original voice of that has actually kind of came up, was complaining about, I don't know why they never offered me the voice of the movies, but it was Jaleel White who played Urkel.
Oh.
So he was kind of bummed that they didn't bring him in to this too, because they brought him in both animated series for however many seasons. So anyway, so we're on Sonic 3. We've had Sonic 1, 2. We had the miniseries Knuckles. We're on the 3rd chapter of the franchise. That usually we get this far into a franchise, it can start losing its steam. Doesn't have anything else. There is a wide array of Sonic characters to bring in, but is it going to get to be too much?
Yeah.
You know, because now we have Team Sonic with Knuckles and Tails and Sonic, and then the family and the government, and then you got Dr. Robotnik and his group of people. And how do you keep bringing the same people back and make it work and not be like, okay, we've seen this. This time around, we introduced Shadow, so they started doing the after credit sequences. We've shown Shadow at the end of the previous film. Now we're here.
There you go.
So, as someone who probably didn't care anything about Sonic like
myself,
didn't
know anything about
did you ever even play the game?
No.
All right, I played Sonic.
I just know he runs around and gets the little coin thingies, and it goes Sega at the beginning when you turn it on.
Yeah.
I've never played any games.
Yeah, I was not a gamer. But then he had this fast one too.
I'm a nerd, and I read books.
Well, I did that too, but I played the early video games. I had a Sega CD.
I had an Atari.
Well, I had an Atari. Yes, we had to blow it.
Yes, and stick it in there. And sometimes if we were lucky, we could get the genie.
They even did it in the movie. Remember we take the cartridge?
Yeah. We had the genie where you stick the genie in and stick your cartridge in, so you had more lives.
I never got a regular Sega, but I did get a Sega CD, which was like this big thing. It was about this big. And the games were like CD discs. And it was just like the next revolution thing. And I don't think it took off very well. But it had this game called Sewer Shark. Yeah. It was badass. It was almost like a driving game.
Where do you play games now?
Who, me?
Just in general.
People play their games at home. They still have Xboxes and PlayStations. And
what is the things that the kids had here?
I feel so old. Nintendo Switch.
Okay, I feel so old. Like, what did the kids have here earlier? I am a grandma.
Yeah, that's a Nintendo Switch.
Our kids were playing.
PS5 is still huge. You know, PlayStation is like a whole thing. Anyway,
sorry, I digress. I guess I should look into the gaming system.
So what is your feeling on I know you didn't watch Knuckles, but what's your feeling on the first 2 movies?
I really like these movies. They had no business working.
I had no interest in the first movie.
Me either. But then you watch it, and Sonic is just so cute and endearing because he has no idea what the heck's going on. Very fish out of water, sweet little kid, just trying to get along. He's lost and he's lonely, and it makes you feel like, oh.
Well, and I was concerned with anytime they make a movie like this. I'm always worried, will the animation mesh well enough to make you buy into it, because he clearly looks like nothing. Live action people. Yeah, he looks like nothing that would be in the real world. Right. Like even as an alien, he doesn't look like the idea of an alien like I would be coming and interacting. But you buy into it, you know, like maybe not the first few scenes of the first movie. You're like, but you buy into the whole thing, and I remember going to see the first one thinking, I want to watch it, you know, because I'll watch anything. And I remember playing the game and that kind of stuff. Never cared about the cartoons or whatever. Figured I'd watch it and move on with my life. Yeah. I came in along like, damn it, that movie was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And like I said at the beginning, I got old school Jim Carrey, so I was all in.
Yes.
And so when they now Sonic 2 and there's Jim Carrey was coming back, and
Well, and for me too, it was getting a fun James Marsden.
yeah,
Because I think all I've ever seen of him was X-Men. And like for me, that's all I knew. So I was like, psh, psh. But getting to see him do something fun, I was like, oh, this
he's
is
done a
lot
bunch of other
fun.
stuff.
I know, but not for that I've seen. I hadn't seen it. So yeah, and Jim Carrey, and all he has to do is just be like,
Yeah, she's obsessed with Jim Carrey's
I
robot.
love it.
Thing.
Well, and just how he treats people and how he treats his Agent Stone. You
He
know,
abuses it.
yes, but Agent Stone just loves him.
Well, and
back.
I was
so
I was
fun.
a little confused and concerned in the first movie because Robotnik does not look like Robotnik, and so I was like, oh no, they fixed Sonic, but they didn't fix Robotnik. Is it going to work? Are the fans going to, chew this thing up, spit it out?
Yeah.
But then they kind of save it at the end because it kind of starts turning him into. It's the story of Sonic, but it's also the story and evolution of Robotnik throughout this franchise, on going from looking like a normal cliched villain to getting the big crazy mustache and the bald head and the outfits, and to where the point where now we've got a Robotnik, even though he's not as big and fat, I believe, like Robotnik actually is, he looks like Robotnik. So now that we're in the third film, you do not have to watch Knuckles for this movie to work.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I was wondering if they were going to collect it. Knuckles is kind of its own thing. Sonic, I think, barely in. Knuckles has like once, maybe at the beginning, at the end. It's a kind of a side adventure, so you can dive into this movie without ever watching it if you haven't watched it, but you should because it's fun. What did you think of the latest chapter of the Sonic franchise?
I really liked it, and I liked that. Now Knuckles, I guess they're kind of friends, but Knuckles is so funny because whereas Sonic has really tried to assimilate into living on Earth, Knuckles just doesn't get it. He's still his own thing. He's like, that does not make any sense. What do you mean?
Like,
he's still there. And then Tails is so cute, trying to keep them all together. And then now we have this new character, Shadow, which brings a lot of like speculation.
Shadow has
like,
the most story arc in depth.
Yes.
Than I would have expected from one of these characters.
Yeah, because we find out, I don't want to spoil it, I'm not going to spoil it, but we find out somebody's known about these things for a while. Yeah. So it's like,
But I found it interesting, like, because the character shows up.
Story.
He could have just shown up, been a bad guy, and got rid of him. But there seemed to be actual stakes.
Yes.
With that character, like Sonic's not going to die, and
well.
We're not going to necessarily lose the main franchise.
Right.
But for movies like this to be entertaining and deliver and still be fresh, you at some point have to feel like there's a danger. And Robotnik's, addition to his grandfather you see in the trailer, first of all, it gives you a double dose of Jim Carrey, which was great. But you forget it's Jim Carrey almost, and it feels like it's two characters.
Because it is two separate characters, and I think he did a really good job, by the way.
He did. It was so good. The movie's action-packed. It's fun. It's vibrant. It's as good, if not better, than the previous two films.
And I like that we didn't forget Tom and Maddie, who essentially are like Sonic's parents at this point. We didn't forget them. They're not the main focus like in the first and second ones.
Well, really the first one, and then the second one they get pulled in.
But this one too, they're still there. And I like that everybody in the movie is willing to be silly because, I think you get Jim Carrey, he's very physically comedic actor. But you get everyone still like wiggling on the floor, doing a worm. Like everybody's willing to be silly, which I like.
I think it
doesn't feel silly. It feels serious.
I think they've also been very creative in from that element of how do they bring these other random characters that are clearly fun in their smaller moments, but they're not necessary for the bigger story.
Yeah, like
the sister and the
commander, the army commander guy, the husband.
How do you bring them back?
In
a moment of like, the second one they said, okay, they're getting married, and then that was a bigger story, but that doesn't really.
Did they ever get married? Did they not?
Clearly they're together.
And it's not necessary that Commander Walters shows up one more time to be like, we need your help again, because it's one line.
That's what I'm saying. It could have been so repetitive, and instead they did something different.
Yes.
They made it work in a fun way, so that you don't forget they exist.
The sister, by the way, I love the sister.
I know, and they did a thing with her to make it fun, and it allowed the actress to do something different with her same character.
Yes,
she's
the best.
It is a franchise that I'll have to say that I think every one of them is good, if not better than the previous one.
Yeah.
And then it holds up well.
They hold up.
We rewatched the first two, and they're a blast.
So
This one, I think this one's my favorite, but I kind of dig Shadow. I think Keanu Reeves was perfect for the cat. The voice, his voice fits perfectly.
Yeah.
And if you really think about their voices, they've really done a great job of the tone of the voice matching the vibe of the character. Like Ben Schwartz is kind of goofy, silly, never sounds really tough for Sonic.
Right.
You know, the lady that does the voice of Tails, I believe it does the one does in the game too.
Mm.
But
yeah, she's done it.
Which always confuses me that Tails is a boy.
Yeah.
Because I'm always I didn't really know about the character, so it wasn't just her voice, but comes off like a kid.
Yeah.
Little innocent, naive.
Yeah.
Friend to everyone.
Exactly.
You know, Idris Elba's Knuckles has I'm lost, but I'm still badass tough.
Yeah.
You know, Shadow's very mysterious
Dark
and dark and brooding.
Yeah,
and
broody.
Keanu Reeves brings that low voice that he uses for things. So they're fantastic. And this one had an after credit scene that
I was
sets
so
up even
excited.
more.
I was like, yes, because I had been looking up characters and stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's funny because she doesn't know about them. So
I
she
don't know
asked me a
anything.
question. We can't tell you because that would spoil the
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it.
But she asked me about some other characters. Are there other this? So we looked them up and she found some. She goes, ooh, I like this character. I like the way this looks. And of course, thankfully it showed up in the after credit scene.
I
So
paid attention.
with the development of the fourth film, we kind of get more ideas of where it's going to go and more characters, more additions. And normally I would be like, okay, I'm tired of all these new characters, but I can't wait for the fourth movie.
I think this is one they can just keep going.
Yeah, this movie's a blast. I loved it. I love this franchise, and I never thought I would tell anybody that I like the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise.
Yeah, who knew? I didn't know anything about it. I think the people too were enjoying it. We had a pretty full theater and a lot of kids, but they all paid attention, which was surprising.
Well, there seemed to be some cheering.
Yes, they were excited.
You know, some excitement, some fun, some laughter. I will say this one, a little bit of the opening was kind of cheesy, and I thought, oh no, this was not going to work.
Yeah.
But it found its footing fast.
Yeah.
And from then on, it's pretty intense for the rest of it. This one's a lot darker, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot more
some
action.
sad moments in there.
Yeah.
With
and there is two
Shadow.
after credit scenes. There's a mid credit scene that's the big one, and then there's an after credit scene that's kind of a tease of other ops things. So there's two different levels to the credit scenes. We missed the last one, but went back and found it. Because we left thinking we saw, because the mid one is so big.
Yeah, we're like,
it's like a whole other scene of a film. It's not just like a quick snip.
No,
so
it's pretty good.
Anyway, check out Sonic the Hedgehog 3 in theaters now. I think this one is one you should see on the biggest, loudest screen you can and have a great time with it.
There you go. Buy some popcorn. All right, tell me about our giveaways.
We got the same giveaways we've had for the last few weeks. 4Ks of the Terminator, Joker 2, Blazing Saddles, Interstellar. I'm going faster than the screen because I'm out the gate. Watchmen Chapter 2, and I think I have one digital copy of Conclave left with some new giveaways coming soon.
All right. Coming out at the theater, well, it's Christmas. So there are some great Christmas movies that are not actually about Christmas, which I like this year. Because, you know, normally
that's usually how most years.
They came out earlier.
Yeah,
like
most
Red
of the time.
and
Christmas
else.
movies don't usually come out on Christmas Day.
So coming out on Christmas Day in theaters, a movie called Baby Girl. This is the one with Nicole Kidman. And it is steamy.
It's like a slutty movie.
Steamy. Also coming out in theaters, Nosferatu. I'm excited about that. We'll be talking about that. Also coming out, The Fire Inside. And then also A Complete Unknown. There you go.
Which is a Bob Dylan movie that is fantastic. You should go see it.
So those are the 4 things, and we'll talk about them soon. All right, that's it. We'll talk to you later.
TikTok kids.